Hello and welcome to YouTube Developers Live. We have a very exciting show for you today. In fact, it's a little more exciting than what we expected. We are having a special guest joining us from Helsinki. His name is Jussi Laakkonen, and he's the founder and CEO of Applifier. How are you doing, Jussi?
I'm doing very well. Thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you for staying late. I know it's late here now in Helsinki, but we are very honored to have you on our show because I understand that the Nordic countries is where the action is in mobile nowadays. Is that true?
Well, there's definitely a lot of excitement in the area. You have companies like Rovio, Supercell, King, and a number of others that are creating great games in the region, and it's certainly kind of a breakout, if you will. Think of a region of just 15 million or so people, and basically all the top grossing spots on iOS are being covered by Nordic games. So it's a great time to be here working on games.
Great. So it's a great segue to my next question. How did you come up with the idea behind Everyplay and Applifier?
Well, Jarek, I asked myself, how do I find games for a mobile device? And of course, I can go to the App Store. It's pretty crowded and it's kind of curated by somebody else. And when I really thought about it, the answer was pretty obvious that the best games I ever found came through a friend. I asked a friend tells me, or even better, a friend shows me. This is how I discovered a game called Flight Control like 3 years ago, and I'm still playing that game after 3 years.
Oh, great.
But the challenge with having a friend pick up an iPhone and say like, hey, you really got to play this game, is that I actually need to meet you in order to see that. So Everyplay is really about taking that moment, oh, gee, this game rocks, I want to show everyone, or I'm doing so well in this game, look at me. And taking that moment and making it shareable by posting it online. Mm-hmm. So that's what Everyplay really is. It's about digitizing word of mouth and making it shareable.
Mm-hmm. So traditionally, this type of sharing use case has already been done in console games and PC games. We have a lot of that type of content on YouTube. It's extremely popular. So how is mobile different?
Mobile's different in a good number of ways. First of all, these devices are considerably lower power than your average high-end PC gaming rig. Mm-hmm. On a PC, you have quite a lot of horsepower to spare for video recording, whereas on a mobile device, it's actually a pretty hard engineering problem to make it go fast. Mm-hmm. Also, what's very different from PC is that on a PC, you can actually download a separate software, like Fraps, to record another software. Whereas on iOS and Android, the applications are sandboxed. What this means is that another application cannot access the contents of another application. Mm-hmm. So you actually cannot have a general purpose screencasting tool. Mm-hmm. Instead, what we do is we provide an SDK that's easily integrated into the games and provides a seamless instant replay and sharing solution.
I see. So is it fair to say that for most of the PC titles today, the videos that we see on YouTube are basically captured using third-party software, edited locally, and then uploaded to YouTube, whereas on mobile, the way forward is to really incorporate this functionality directly into the game?
That's absolutely true, and it's a function of the limitations or say restrictions and protections of the iOS and Android operating systems. And also, I think what's interesting, as you mentioned, it's very popular. Let's Play videos are hugely popular, and walkthroughs as well as reviews by user are extremely influential on YouTube. Mm-hmm. And what that really speaks to is that even though the making of these videos is not trivial, you need to have the software, you need to record and edit separately and then upload, there's a lot of people doing it. And what we are aiming to do for mobile is to simplify this by making it a completely transparent part of the game. So you play the game and you get a replay. You don't think about that, oh, I need a tool for this, or I want to do a replay. Instead, you just get it. And you can easily share it or comment on it and put it out to YouTube. And I think that's really kind of unlock a number of creators that would not have done it on PC because the tools were too complicated.
Mm-hmm. Great. So the discovery use case, the distribution use case is definitely very important, and I can totally see how this is going to help mobile game developers. So maybe we should switch gears now and have you show us a little bit more about your product.
Definitely. So let's jump into a screen share from my iPhone 5, and hopefully this comes through. So I'm going to show you a demo of a very high-end Unity 4 game. and I apologize in advance that this is going to be a little choppy over Hangout. This actually runs at 30 frames per second on my device. So right now we are not yet recording this game, and as I tap this button, we are now recording this game, and there's actually 0 difference on the frame rate on this game. And we cannot really see it on this live Hangout because of the way Hangouts work, but I encourage you to go to everyplay.com to see it for yourself. So I'm going to stop the recording now and open up our editor user interface. So the editor here shows the replay that was just captured, and we can even comment on that by adding a forward-facing camera that actually shows me. So this is pretty meta. I'm on a Hangout that shows me from an iPhone AirPlay to the Hangout. So this is the ability for us to add a video commentary by the player himself into the game he's playing. It's actually very exciting because that takes the video of the gameplay into a personal story. So this here was Unity. We also work with a number of game engines. You can use Everyplay with Cocos, a custom engine, and most recently we've actually added support for even Unreal Engine. And unfortunately, I don't have the demo for an Unreal Engine game on my phone, but instead I want to show you a very popular game right now called NimbleQuest. And NimbleQuest is made by a company called Nimblebit, who are best known for games like Tiny Towers and Pocket Planes. They are a small studio out of San Diego, but they've been extremely successful. And this is their latest game that was featured by Apple, and it's out today actually on Android, so you should get it from the Google Play Store. So this game plays a little like the original Snake game, and this may be a little small on the screen, but what happens here is that I'm controlling this snake made out of my heroes, and I'm trying to kill the monsters. And as I move around, this game is actually capturing the replay as it happens. So there is no action the user needs to take. Instead, the capture is done automatically. And now, just for the purpose of this demo, I'm going to kill my snake and die here miserably. And you can see on the top left-hand corner, there's a button called Share Replay. And this is the replay of the gameplay we just created. So it's captured in the background while the game played without performance impact. And now, as the user, I can easily share this with my friends and other game players through Everyplay. So we're going to do that now live on air. So I'm tapping on Share Replay, and this opens up Everyplay, and this is the share screen. So we're going to give this a title, let's say YouTube developers live on air, and let's use a hashtag to organize this contact. We'll call it Jarek because this is a fan video for Jarek. And we're going to share it to Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I'm not going to send this in an email because you all know how email sharing works, but we'll see it being shared to all these different networks. So I'm going to tap on Share. And what happens is that the upload starts in the background, and now I can share it to Facebook. And I'm going to share this publicly on Facebook, and we can post it. And we're going to send it out as a tweet, going live on air right now. And we also, because I was already connected to YouTube, it actually has been uploaded to YouTube also. So right now, we're looking at Everyplay's social interface. So this is me on Everyplay. We use a nickname system with the follower paradigm. So here are people I'm following who follow me. And here's my previous actions. So I'm going to go out and demonstrate a little bit about Everyplay's social functions as the video is being encoded on our servers. So this here is my home feed, people I follow and their actions. So I can see replays from cool games that they're playing. So let's find out something interesting here. Let's see. Okay, here's a BMX game. So let's check out this game. So we're currently streaming it down from our servers and then playing back on my iPhone and then playing back to you over the Hangout. So here's a BMX game. This was captured by another player, shared on Everyplay, potentially Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, And we can see the gameplay right here on Everyplay. And we provide a number of social functions like ability to comment. And so that's my comment. I misspelled it nicely. You can obviously like videos. You can reshare videos. So if you find something cool, I could reshare it to YouTube under my own account. And obviously, because Everyplay is geared towards discovering content, we also provide an App Store button straight in the social interface. And you can just install the game that you've discovered straight through Everyplay. And also for game developers, we provide an ability to do community management through Everyplay. So this is the game's community management page. All the videos that are ever been shared from this game are visible here. And the community manager of this game could also reshare these videos to YouTube or Facebook or Twitter for that matter. So Everyplay provides basically a fully fledged social infrastructure around mobile gaming and is geared towards connecting the fans of the games together. So why don't we now see if my video is completed encoding. So here's the video we just uploaded. Let's see if it's been encoded. There we go. So it's been encoded, and we can see it's YouTube developers live on air, #Jarek. And we are now streaming it down from our servers to play it back on this device. And here it goes. So this is the capture we just did. We uploaded while we talked, and it's now live, available for anybody to check out why this game is cool. And as you may recall, we shared it to Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So let's first open up Facebook. And this is my personal Facebook account, so you can see all my gory details. And as you can see here, we have YouTube developers live on air featuring Jarek. And we could watch the video. See, it's ready to go, and you can click to download from the App Store. And let's see if I have Twitter open. I don't yet have Twitter open, so let's open up Twitter. And I'm going to go to my tweets. As you can see, YouTube developers live on air. We support also Twitter cards, so you can play directly from Twitter to watch this replay. And of course, most importantly, we also support YouTube. So I'm going to go into, these are my uploads. And let's see if it made it to YouTube. Yes, it made it to YouTube, but it says that this video is being processed. So that's on YouTube. The video has already been uploaded. But we can watch an earlier upload I did from a NimbleQuest as I was testing this about 10 minutes ago. So here's the replay. So this is a very seamless system that enables the players to share their best replays, connect socially on services like YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter, and within Everyplay. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed the demo.
Yeah, this was great. Thank you for doing this. So let's talk a little bit more about how this system is implemented. So can you tell us a little bit more about the technology behind it?
So certainly, there are a couple of components of this. One is the SDK that goes inside the game, and that's a native iOS code that's that we provide in the various plugins for Unity, Cocos, Unreal Engine 3, and custom game engines. We're also hard at work at our Android version, and we hope to give you news about that not too distant future.
Sounds great.
That actually captures the gameplay, and then we have our server side. Which is runs on Node.js, MongoDB, on various servers and CDNs, and basically that's where the videos are uploaded to. And the whole social interface you saw is all HTML5. So there's no separate Everyplay app right now. It's all HTML5, all the social stuff we looked at. And we provide that on desktop browsers, mobile browsers, within as we looked within Facebook, within Twitter.
Oh, great.
And then we provide integrations to services like YouTube, where we upload the video. It's always uploaded to the user's own account on YouTube, so we want the users to be stars, and so they can have them on their own channels.
Yeah. This is definitely the approach that we recommend. We also find that these videos are more likely to go viral because users have an incentive to actually share their achievements. So this fits the use case quite well. So how do you use the YouTube API?
Excuse me, you were breaking up a little.
My question was, how do you use the YouTube API? Can you tell a little bit more about how you use it?
So we have a server-to-server connection to YouTube. So we use that for first the user authenticates himself with OAuth2 to authenticate that he has the YouTube account and ability to publish, and we store that access keys to that. And as we have the video on the server, we use our server-to-server integration to YouTube servers to upload the video after it's been encoded on our servers.
Got it. So the token is obtained on the client. So this is something that the OAuth flow is executed on the mobile device. And then the refresh token is sent to the server side, and then the video is uploaded on behalf of the user using an access token that is obtained from the refresh token that you have actually obtained on the client. Is that correct?
Correct. That's correct. And we don't directly upload from the client to YouTube because we also do moderation on these videos, and we have certain safeguards in place to make sure that the content is PG-13, if you will. And that's why we do the re-encoding on the server side and the security checks on the server side, and then upload from the servers. This also means that the user, if he's sharing to multiple services, he only needs to upload once. And as we provide services like background uploading, and then the video upload will complete even if the user exits the application.
Great. And then are you using YouTube API v2 or v3 for the upload?
We're currently in version 2, but we're very excited about the opportunity that version 3 is opening up. So we're very much looking forward to migrating to that. And we have big plans to leverage the data API on YouTube, because I think there are great things you can build with that. Playlists, do featured, kind of curate the content of your channel. And we're really on the early stages of that. We first wanted to enable the sharing for players, and now the next step is kind of creating that content into interesting playlists, organizing that by games, and enabling games to find their audiences. So we're excited about the new version 3 API.
Great, and I think the YouTube audience will appreciate easy way to find this content, especially if you're talking about curation and playlist management. I think that's all very important for game developers, because once the content is out there, how do you help users find it? And definitely the curation is the right way to approach it.
We also leverage metadata, so our developers can specify a number of variables, some public, some private, that's used to navigate these videos. And we also are publishing, I think, most of that, if not all, to YouTube. And the goal is to really enable rich search abilities within YouTube.
Great. So one question that I typically like to ask is, while you were developing your product or the API integration, was there anything that surprised you, like things that you really didn't anticipate about your users or about the API? Any lessons learned that you would be willing to share with us?
I think what we did right is that we actually got in touch with the YouTube team pretty early on, and a few of the gotchas were actually covered in our first introductory calls, like the authentication flow and the best practices for that. If we hadn't known about those, it probably would have been something that we've been scratching our head around a little bit. But because we took the proactive approach and we got good support from the YouTube developers team, I would say that we really didn't run into anything that was kind of that's really weird. But it's more like, okay, I'll read the documentation, which is actually what Google really shines on, in my opinion, is that the documentation is exemplary. So we had actually very easy time implementing the YouTube API.
Good to hear that. I'll definitely pass this on to our colleague Andy, who works on our documentation and gets a lot of praise for it. I think he's doing an excellent job.
I wish ours would be as good.
So any API features that you wish we had and they're not there yet? Like what are the next things that you think we should be pursuing?
Well, I think when you look at a lot of the gaming videos, there's quite a lot of annotations going on, and that would be certainly something eventually to be able to allow players or programs to annotate videos. So that would be certainly something that we would be looking forward to do, because I think that's doing it manually for videos. It requires more manpower than a small startup has. But that is definitely, I would say, on top of my wish list. And there are always improvements that you can look for, but that would be kind of the thing I'm looking for. And I think I'm very excited to also see, as the live streaming API is coming out, on all the possibilities that opens up to content creators.
Great. So let's switch to our questions. I see we have a question from a viewer live on YouTube about Android, and you touched about that earlier in the show. And the question is, when is Everyplay going to be available on Android? I'm sure you get that a lot. So anything to add to what you previously stated?
So we met with a lot of developers. I would say close to 1,000 developers at GDC last week. And we had nearly 10 people in staff and did a lot of events. And if there were one thing that was above anything else that was requested was Android. The good news is that we are already at a working prototype on Android, so things are running. It's not a just, hey, we hope this will work. We know it works. And I think with Android, the key thing we are working on right now is device fragmentation. And there's quite a few very popular GPUs on Android that you need to support in order to have a viable solution. So our goal right now is to have broad enough support that we can launch a beta version of Android in not too distant future. Unfortunately, I cannot give an exact time frame because every GPU is a little bit of a challenge of its own, and getting to a high enough penetration on the kind of devices that you would expect to be people to be playing on is something that we're still working on. So it's definitely, I would say, our number one priority. We are already on it. The prototype is running. Things are looking good. And now we're going to just conquer the fragmentation.
Cool. Thank you for this detailed answer. I think we're all anxiously awaiting Android support. I'm an Android user, so definitely would like to try it out. So another question is, for me, is YouTube Developer Relations hiring? And the answer is yes, we are hiring. Google Developer Relations as well as YouTube Developer Relations is hiring. To learn more, go to developers.google.com/jobs, and you can learn all about it right there. Well, thank you very much, Jussi. I know it's getting right now in Helsinki. Thank you very much for joining our show, and then looking forward to see the new features coming out of Applifier and sharing my gameplay with the games that you have integrated with.
And you're going to be sharing it on YouTube, obviously.
Absolutely.
And that's going to be awesome.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
And thank you for watching. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.